welcome back to my channel. I'm Jamie at Candidly Chaotic. Here I talk about homeschool and mom stuff and family adventures that kind of go along with all of that. So today I'm going to be sharing about my favorite things about homeschooling and then my least favorite. So my top 5 favorite things and then my five least favorite things as well, just to kind of have like a balanced look at homeschooling. So if that's something you're interested in, then stay tuned. I'm going to share my least favorite things and my favorite things, and I'm going to alternate in between the two. I don't really think that these are in any certain order. I'm not sure that I could quantify which is where. It's just, my top 5 most favorite things and then my 5 least favorite things, and we'll just alternate. So first of all, one of my least favorite things in the top 5 is assumptions of my time and what I do. And that is either my perceived assumptions or things that I know people are assuming on what I have time for and what I'm doing during that time. So I do have a kindergartner, and so of course my time is not as occupied as a mama with older students, but I do have a lot to do, and we do school every day, and that is kind of my top priority before anything else that I'm going to do. And so just having any sort of assumptions as far as what I should have time for, because I stay home, therefore I am not busy, that's frustrating and annoying, and it's hard to break those assumptions for other people because they don't see the day-to-day of it. So then one of my favorite things to balance that out is the freedom that my family has, that I have, that my son has, just freedom to teach my kids things that I think are super important, freedom to, if we really, really are doing well in school and we have just like a great opportunity, the freedom to seize on that opportunity, freedom to take vacations at any time that is convenient for my husband's work. There's just so much freedom involved in homeschool, and that's one of my favorite things that I just love, our freedom to choose what we need and want as it comes up. Okay, so now my second one on the list of things that are my least favorite is guilt. There's a couple things that are involved with guilt as my least favorites, and that is this first one is about guilt on my time for myself. I feel guilty whenever I need time to myself, and that guilt just is hard, it's hard to get over, and time for me is important, and I am still an important human being. And of course my children are part of the most important part of my life right now, but I'm still an important human being, and I do feel guilty whenever I need some time away from them. So that is not a favorite part. All right, so the next thing to alternate to a more positive thing is my second thing on my list of favorites is time spent together, which kind of goes with the first one with freedom, but yeah, time spent together that I get to spend with my children, that I get to know them on a deeper level, that we get to spend together, that I know what really makes them tick. I know what they're struggling with. I certain things that my son does during school time, I can kind of hone in on, well, he's doing this because I've learned, whatever. And you can definitely learn those things when your kids are in public school, but I just really have so much time to really learn those things about my kids, and to spend time with them and have shared experiences, because I've said it before, our time with them is so limited, and I want to have these shared experiences and shared times of joy, or even times of sharing in struggles that we can build upon and have good relationships when my kids leave my house. And I want them to have shared experiences with each other as well. And so just that time spent together is a favorite for me for sure. Now, a third least favorite thing. This is kind of hard because it's not like in order. But anyways, number 3 on the list that I have of least favorites is pressure for my kids to like excel, not just do okay or do well, but to excel because of the perceptions of others or assumptions of others, or or at least my fear of what they think of what we're doing. I just feel like if a kid is in public school and you're doing the very best you can, a lot of times people just see that as you're doing the very best you can and your student is struggling. Whereas in homeschool, it's this personal thing because you're the teacher, and you've made this crazy decision to homeschool your kids. And so having that, pressure, I guess, that my kids just have to do well, when I don't know if my kid is going to be super good at math or reading. Maybe he's going to struggle, and I want him to have that freedom to struggle, and with me he does. But I feel that pressure, that external pressure on me, that he should be doing super well or we've done it wrong. And that's one of my least favorites, because it's also not how I feel. It's whenever I let the outside, the outside assumptions and outside opinions in, which I really try not to do, but they do affect us. A third thing on my list of favorites to cheer us up is our adventures in learning. We have had opportunities to just learn in ways that, they just come up. Things that we've also planned on that end up being adventures for school, but also just, adventures that just pop up is just a beautiful part of homeschooling. And I love being a part of those adventures all the time and making those adventures a reality for our homeschool. A fourth thing on my least favorite list is that it's hard. A fourth thing on my least favorite list is that it is hard. And I'm so willing to do things that are hard, and I don't shy away from things that are hard, because in my opinion, most things that are worth it in life are going to be hard. But, the guilt, here's that guilt again, the guilt that comes from being frustrated or just having a moment where I'm really, I've succumbed to, this is so hard. The guilt that I feel when I just want to be away, or I just, need a timeout, or think, what in the world am I doing? The guilt that I feel when that happens and overcomes me, that is a terrible feeling. So that's definitely on the least favorite list. Then fourth on my favorites list is I actually love planning and organizing and doing all the prep work for school stuff. I love organizing our school stuff. I love, kind of getting an idea ready of what we're going to be doing when, and getting supplies ready for crafts. And I love that part. I love organizing for any purpose, and so this is just another outlet that I get to do, and I love it. And then my fifth and final thing on my least favorite list is feeling like I have to do it all. So this kind of pertains to a lot of different things, and part of it is, I stay home, and so feeling like whenever we're invited anywhere, I feel like I have to say yes, even though I don't want to, or even though it doesn't really fit into our schedule maybe. And also around the house, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so, it kind of comes usually with the territory of being a homeschool mom. And so at this point, it's not too bad because my son is in kindergarten, and the time is not a terrible strain on us yet. But it does get complicated sometimes with doing school and then making sure that they get to have some fun. And then I have I have a toddler who's not quite in preschool yet, and so making sure that he gets attention, making sure that our house gets cleaned and laundry gets done and food gets cooked and groceries get bought and meals get planned, and list and list and list and list after that the things that are on the to-dos. And this is not anything against my husband or anything like that. He's very helpful, but I don't feel that he should have to do it all because he's away working during, well, not away. Currently, he's actually at home, but he's working during the day. He does have things he needs to do, and he shouldn't, have to do it all to help me. And so yeah, it's just this crazy mixture of this, wow, this is a lot that I have to get done, and that feels overwhelming. And I love that my husband helps, but I'm not going to have him help me with all of it all of the time and do everything. And then just that when you're in the middle of it, feeling like, oh my goodness, why do I have to do all of this? I don't like those feelings. It doesn't feel like that every day, but there are some days that are harder than others and some weeks that are harder than others. So that's a least favorite part. And finally, my fifth thing on my list of things that are my favorite are that I get to learn and relearn things with my kids. I think that even already there's been things that I've gotten to learn with my son that either I had forgotten about or I had never really learned, and so learning it now is like just a breath of fresh air. I am a lifelong learner. I love researching. I love finding out new things, and so that is a joy, and I'm so excited. I don't want my kid to grow any faster than what he is because it's too fast already. But I am very, very excited for learning certain things in his upper grades that either I skimmed over and didn't really learn it. Maybe we didn't learn it in my school for whatever reason, or I feel like it wasn't done well. And I'm excited to really dig in. There's a couple things that kind of fit that bill. So that is my list of least favorites and favorites to kind of balance each other out. Homeschooling is a wonderful thing, but it is not the easiest thing. So I think having, a great double-sided view can be realistic. So I just wanted to share that part of homeschooling with you. If you like this video and you want to see more, go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe button. And I hope you guys have a great day.